Nick, good evening. What are you seeing when you're watching Fred go off like that? Like, how do you feel? How do you sort of take it all in?
Well, I thought early on, Doug, that the ball was coming off his hands so easily, right? The deep shots just looked like hardly any effort. So there was something there that was just making him fly off so comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Just like wherever he shot it from, it seemed like it was about a free throw line attempt effort wise. That was one thing I noticed.
And he gets what 54 points and only 23 shots. He really didn't force very much. I guess that's just the way he plays, right? He takes what's there.
Yeah, I'm not sure he forced any of them. He might have. He usually gets forced into a couple late shot clockers. He's kind of one of our bailout guys there, but I'm not so sure he forced anything. Maybe one or two at the rim, but he also, again, he's making a hard drive, and that's what ends up being open. Yeah, that's pretty good. Doug, 54 points on 23 shots, pretty good.
And then he had the track down steal from Ross there at the end of the third quarter that sort of is what he is all about, right? Just still making other plays.
Yeah, I think those guys. There was quite a few good hands on things tonight. He had a few. Norman reached in there a couple times. DeAndre shook a few less. We shook a bunch loose, Doug, and we nearly shook about another 8 or 10 loose. So I think it was good hands by a lot of people tonight.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate the time as always.
Okay, Doug. Have a good night.
You too.
Next question goes to Josh Lewinberg from TSN.
Hey, Nick. There was that moment at the end of the third quarter where it looked like Fred was pretty gassed. I mean, understandably so, having played the whole quarter and doing what he did. But to follow up on Doug's question about the defense, to do what he did offensively while also playing as hard as he typically does and did again today defensively, how high is the degree of difficulty to be able to do something like that?
Well, it's up there. I mean, you guys have been around a long time, and I think that's a franchise record for points. So nobody else has been able to do it. And like you said, he's running the team, playing defense, and all that kind of stuff. So pretty high up there on the degree of difficulty, Josh.
Where does this rank? I'm not looking for an exact number, obviously, but in terms of some of the most memorable individual performances that you've coached, I imagine this has to be right up there as well.
Yeah, sure was. I mean, I think we've been through a few of them in our 8 years here, but obviously this is, I mean, he got to be the most efficient without looking at any of the numbers. It's got to be. Better be careful. But didn't seem nearly as explosive as T. Ross's. Do you remember that T. Ross one? It was just seemed like he was bombing them in from all over the place, and it was like its own game going on within the game. This was just kind of in the flow. It seemed like a little different.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep. See you, Josh.
Going next to Tim Bontemps from ESPN.com.
Hi, Tim.
Fred VanVleet is now the record holder for the most points in a game by an undrafted player. And the only other guy who'd ever scored more than 50 in a game was Moses Malone, who is not exactly a stereotypical undrafted player. Is that just a bit of a testament to the work that Fred has put in over time to be in the same conversation with Moses Malone for anything?
I mean, I think it's an incredible statement, Tim. I mean, it's incredible to be an undrafted guy and to do that. I mean, it really is. It's incredible. He's got a pedigree for winning every team he's been on his whole life. He took a smaller mid-major university to incredible seasons. Obviously had that game 6 fourth quarter in the championship finals, but again, undrafted and tremendous, just competitor, worker, thinker, all that stuff.
And just out of curiosity, how much are you guys paying attention to where he's at in relation to, like DeMar's record in the course of a game, especially one where maybe the result is sort of in hand in the last?
Well, yeah, I mean, I first noticed at 46. I saw the 23 in the first half as well, like at some point on the thing. And then I looked down and saw 46 and was like, whoa. Right. And I didn't, again, didn't think much of it. And then, they got a couple of steals and scored outs there at the end of the third quarter to get him close. And then I couldn't remember what the record was. I thought I was a part of it. I was there for the game, but I couldn't remember if it was 53 or 58 or whatever. So at one point I asked somebody and they said, well, I think it's 53. And then I turned around and he was laying in 54. So I took care of that pretty quick, Tim.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Going next to Aaron Rose from SI.com.
Hey, Nick, sort of following up Tim's question a little bit, but when do you think you realized that he was really on tonight? What number 3-pointer was he at when it clicked?
I mean, again, I thought early after about his second or third one, it just seemed to be coming out of his hand so easily, and they were hitting right in the heart. I mean, they were just, right in the heart of the, basket. And it looked like, he was getting rid of them quick and it was free and easy. So I thought maybe he was going to have a really good night, but not we've never seen one like it before night.
It sort of felt different than other ones you've been around in the past.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't seem, like I said earlier, it didn't seem as explosive as T Ross's. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like T Ross was building and he was really running off screens and shooting. And it was like every, obviously there's a huge crowd that they knew it was, it was a lot more, it was just a lot more energy and loud and stuff. Maybe the crowd had a big factor, but I just, again, think it seemed like we were like trying to get T Ross every shot there for a little while in the stretch of the game.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep. Thanks, Aaron.
I'm going to do 2 more questions for you, Coach. First one goes to Chris O'Leary from Raptors.com.
Hey, Nick. Having just been around Fred his entire career, does the unlikeliness of his journey ever just kind of hit you from time to time, that this was an undrafted guy, and you hear about it tonight, just, you hear his name next to Moses Malone, from undrafted to that? Just the journey is crazy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. I think it's improbable and it's crazy, but there's and again, I'm not taking a single thing away from Fred on this, but there's a lot of guys and a lot of on the team and stuff that have incredible journeys, and there has been throughout the year, for Pascal Siakam to come from Chris Boucher, Kyle Lowry. I mean, there's a lot of them, but the undrafted and doing this tonight is really special, really something cool.
Thank you.
Yep.
Going next to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, Nick, just a little late on here, but that play that Fred made at the end of the third quarter where he chased down Terrence Ross for the steal after Pascal's turnover. I mean, what does it say that he has this night like he had, but he still had 3 steals, had 3 blocks, was sprinting after loose balls the whole night? I mean, that's got to do your heart pretty good as well.
Yeah, I mean, it does, Michael. I think it's his makeup, it's his character. That's the way he plays. I mean, I think of all the guys on the team this year, he's been ready and he's played both ends and he's played pretty solidly, almost all every night out. That's how he plays.
Good thing.
Credit. It's awesome. It's credit, and it's a credit to him, and it's awesome that he plays that way. That's for sure.
He looked pretty gassed at the end of that. He had to. Did you feel like you might need to give him some extra minutes going into the fourth?
Well, I was thinking about getting him. I'm glad I didn't get him out at the end of the third with about a minute, 15, 20. I was thinking about getting him out at the end of the third, but it kind of got to 50 and I was still thinking about it. And I just said, I'll just let him finish the quarter. And, yeah. And then I knew we were going to get him back in early. I was getting ready to make kind of a little mini rotation there, but then the game kind of opened up. So I had to get off all that.
Appreciate it, Nick. Have a good night.
Okay, Michael. Thank you. Is that it, Rovan?
We're gonna do one more, Coach.
Okay.
Peter from RDS.
Hey, coach. Obviously, a spectacular night by Fred, but I thought tonight the ball moved really well for you guys. I think it was the best spacing we've seen in a long time. 30 made field goals on 40 shots. What did you think helped in terms of opening up those lanes where Siakam and Norm and even Fred were finishing up for some layups? What have you guys been working on to see this success tonight?
Yeah, we're making some strides, Peter, offensively. We really are. We're running a bit harder, the pace a little better. The next action basketball's a lot better. The cutting's a lot better. We're limiting moments of back-to-back not good possessions or back-to-back. We're getting it to where we want to go, and we're playing a little more solidly on offense.